Hey everyone, this is Rachel. Thanks for clicking on my video. And I came in tonight to do a review of Real Housewives of Atlanta, Season 9, Episode 6. Now, my review is not going to quite go in the order that the show was in. It's just going to go in the order that I remember it. So hopefully that's okay with you. So the first one up is Phaedra. Now, the show starts off with the aftermath of the bomb scare that happened at Phaedra's office. Now, y'all, keeping it real, I did not believe a word that Phaedra said. What she said did not quite make sense. Basically, she said something like this, that one of her clients, who we do remember from being on the show last season, came to the wrong office. And she says that he must have said something like, I'm here to drop off some bomb music. And basically, because he was in an office that was white, they misunderstood what he was trying to say, blew it all out of proportion, thinking that he had said that, he had a bomb. Now, Phaedra says that he did not have a bomb, that she'd actually spoken to him after this whole event occurred, and that they were okay. And it was nothing more than that. Now, in the aftermath of this, though, Phaedra did call in the Nation of Islam, and they came in and did like a sweep of her office, and then she had a little staff meeting, and they talked about security for her office, which I think is a good idea because Phaedra is in the public eye, and this was a wake-up call to let her know that if something were to occur, she's vulnerable. And basically she wanted to set up some type of security, I guess, program where if something were to happen, her staff knew what to do. So I did think that that was a good idea, but I did not believe her story. I don't know quite what happened, with that guy. If it was, he was upset with her over something, and he was trying to get some revenge, and Phaedra's trying to play it down, which, for PR reasons, I don't blame her. She doesn't want people to think that her, clients are coming back to bomb her because, she didn't do something right. So I can't say that I disagree with the girl, but I'm going to tell y'all I didn't believe her story. And the next one up for me is Kandi. Now, Kandi and Todd are at the restaurant and things are not going well. They are behind schedule on getting the restaurant finished, and there's a liquor license that if they don't get it done, they could possibly have problems with that. When I looked at this scene, I realized that for Todd, he's trying to prove something. He knows that this is costing a lot of money, and that if he doesn't get things right, I don't think Momma Joyce is going to blame Kandi or think that Kandi's in the wrong or anything. All the blame will be on him. So he's under a lot of pressure. Now, I actually think they bit off more than they can chew. And the reason why I say that is because if neither of them have any expertise in the restaurant business, this could be a great big undertaking that could lose them a lot of money if it doesn't go right. Now, they have watched Peter and all of his restaurants and bars and them opening and closing. So Kandi wants to get this right. And I think for Todd, it's the same with him, but I think Todd feels like he really needs to prove something to Momma Joyce and those aunts because, she always makes little snide comments about, him coming after her money and, all that kind of stuff. So I think Todd wants this to be problem-free, get it done and get it right. And I hope it works out for nothing else, well, I should say, if nothing else, for Todd, because I don't think it's going to play well if anything goes wrong with this and Momma Joyce believes that Todd wasted Kandi's money. I think she'll be fucking with him again like she was when they did that play. He has a hard road to hoe when it comes to that old lady, because she is something else. And speaking of Momma Joyce, man, y'all, Kandi really needs to get a grip on her mother, or either stop allowing Bravo to film her mother. Momma Joyce has just gone totally insane with her antics, and I do believe that these are antics. All of this trench coat and this scarf and these dark glasses to go see this attorney to kind of get some ammunition against Phaedra, who she says is coming for her daughter, so she's gonna come for her, which I really don't see Phaedra coming for Kandi. I just see that their friendship is, no more. But this crazy old broad goes to this attorney's office to ask questions on if a man is in jail and a woman wants to divorce him, does she have to wait, or what's the time period and all of this. Basically, really overstepping her boundary. Now, let me just say this. Whatever is going on between Kandi and Phaedra is between them. Kandi is a grown-ass woman who knows her way around checking a bitch. She does not need Momma Joyce stepping in and throwing her 2 cents in. Y'all, I'm going to tell y'all now, I'm a little sick of her, and she best be glad that she's on a show where these other women are restraining themselves because they're trying to show respect to Kandi's mother. Because if Kandi's mother was on some of these other shows like Love and Hip Hop, they would have whooped her ass. And y'all know that. They would have hauled off and slapped that wig off her motherfucking head. Because Momma Joyce is too much. She is way too much. And this shit that she's doing is not cute. Now, seasons and seasons and seasons ago, when Momma Joyce first came on the scene and she was acting like a mother and not an insane older woman who wants a peach on Real Housewives of Atlanta, because I think that's what she wants. Momma Joyce wants her own peach. Back then, her little antics and the little things she said were kind of cute because she was saying them in a motherly way. Now she's going around acting like she's this bad bitch that will beat a bitch down and all this shit. Her geriatric ass, if one of those women like Sheree or Porsha got mad and forgot that she was Kandi's mother and whooped her ass, she would remember that she's an old broad. Now, like I said, I give kudos to these women on the show, because I would have to tell Kandi, you need to get your mother, because I don't want to have to cuss her out. And then Kandi's going to get mad because, anything against her mama, she gets all her panties up in a bunch. But Kandi must understand that's her mama, not their mama. And she gonna keep on fucking with one of them, and they gonna cuss her ass out. Now, that's all I gotta say about Momma Joyce, because actually she gets on my fucking nerves. Now, next up for me is Cynthia. She goes to the lawyer's office, and it's again to have a conversation about her divorce from Peter. And the lawyer tells her, hey, look, we can get this done 45, 55 days. It's not going to take as long as I told you. Now, Cynthia said that, she feels sad on one hand and happy on the other. Now, I can understand how she feels. She's sad that, her marriage did not work, but happy that she got out before things, went too far to the left. Now, I'm going to tell you like this. I am glad that she is rid of Peter's arrogant ass. Now, here's my opinion on Peter. When Peter first got with Cynthia, probably, he saw Cynthia as like a prize. She was this, model and beautiful black woman, and for him, I think it was like he got a prize. But after he got with Cynthia, he started taking her for granted. What he didn't realize is Cynthia is the type of woman, no matter how ditzy I think she is, Cynthia is the type of woman that if shit ain't working out, Cynthia will say, okay, well then let's let this go. She's not the type of woman that hangs on just for the sake of hanging on. And I believe that when she finally said, you know what, I'm done with this, it shocked the shit out of Peter. He thought he could play his games with her, go opening up these businesses and do stuff behind her back, and that she was just going to go along with this, just forever. He thought that he could take her for granted and say little snide remarks to her and be a little rough, and that he can go out there and flirt with women and it could be filmed and put all on TMZ and all that, and that she was never going to get tired of that. So when Cynthia called his card, he was shocked and, realize, oops, I fucked up, because Cynthia said, you know what, this shit ain't working out, so I want a divorce and let's just get out of this. So I'm glad that she's not one of those type of women that drag it out. And now he can go on and finish opening up all the bars and restaurants that he wants. He's going to have to hook up with some other woman and use her money, because quiet as it's kept, I think one of the reasons too that he was reluctant, because her name and her fame probably helped some of the restaurants, because, they knew Cynthia would be in and out of it. I think it's a lot of reasons why Peter was a little more upset than what he appeared. And I think it wasn't so much the love for Cynthia. Now, I'm not saying that he didn't love her. I believe he did, but I think he just took her for granted. And good for Cynthia. I'm sad, for her that the marriage didn't last, but Cynthia is a beautiful woman. She is not going to have any problem finding someone else. Once her heart mends and she's ready to move on, there are probably men standing in line. Because do y'all remember that scene when Cynthia walked down those stairs and she had on that white swimsuit and she threw that thing over her shoulder and was fierce? He knew then. Because Cynthia, I am a woman, and I even think Cynthia looked beautiful walking down them stairs. I was thinking to myself, you go ahead and slay, you old bra. Show these young girls what you working with. Now he done lost her. So good riddance, Peter's black ass. Y'all, the next one up is this silly ass Porsha. Lord, y'all, please. I just can't believe her sometimes. So Porsha's scene starts off, she's looking for a house. She wants this house and she's been searching for it, and it just has to be just the right house, because as she said, after Cordell, she had to get her credit together, get her head back on straight, and for her this is a major accomplishment. Now I don't have any problems with that, because if it's something that you want and you set a goal for yourself and your goal is to have a beautiful home that you bought, then all right, I applaud her. But when I start to have a problem with Porsha is when her mother comes in and Lauren is there, and she tells them that the reason why she wants this big house is because she wants a family. Now her mother and her sister are looking at her like, okay, where are we going with this? So she tells them about the guy Todd and how, she wants him to be her child's father and all of this stuff. And they're looking at her like she's crazy or a little slow, like we all know that Porsha is. Porsha is a beautiful girl. She's really beautiful. And the child has a body to kill for. But Porsha is trying to go about things wrong. I think that when Lauren had her baby. Porsha already wanted a family, and when Lauren had hers, it just put the fire under Porsha even more. But she's going about it the wrong way. You know, every other week or every 2 weeks, we see Porsha with a different man. Porsha needs to stop looking and let love find her. Get your house, tighten up your career, and let love find you. It's like she's charging like a mad horse through a crowd of men, and whichever one she knocks over, that's going to be her man of the day. Now, this guy Todd that she's talking about, he has 2 sons of his own, and you could tell that her mother and sister pretty much want her to find someone who doesn't have kids, but Porsha has convinced herself that this is the right man to have her baby by. Even though, you know, she's doing it all backwards. She's telling him first, not, you know, getting a relationship, you know, nurturing it, and then thinking about having the baby. She wants it all at once. She wants the happily ever after, and she wants it quick, fast, and in a hurry. Porsha's a little ditzy, and she's a little too old to be as ditzy as she is. Now, here's what I wish for Porsha. That she just slows down, because she is a beautiful girl, and you know, if she just takes her time, love will find her. Like I said, if I was her, I would concentrate on my career. I would get my house, but I would concentrate on my career and let love find me, because the way that she's doing it, you know, she's headed for a disaster. You know she is. So I just don't foresee anything good the way that Porsha is doing it. Now, I'm going to wish the heifer luck, because, you know, you don't want to wish ill on anyone. But Porsha, girl, take your time. Now, the next one up is Sheree. Y'all, Sheree was acting a fool on this episode. A lot of people was mad at her, but I'm going to tell you, I wasn't. Sheree was like, let's move this shit along. Let me get some things out on the table. Now, the first thing she brought up was she told on Kenya. That shit was funny. She was like, Momma Joyce, you know Kenya said that she was trying to talk about me, and she said I had on the ugly ass Momma Joyce wig. Kenya was like backpedaling and pussy popping. She was like, no, I didn't. Child, they was like 2 kids at the kitchen table with their mama. That shit was funny. Kenya was like, no, I've always said you were a beautiful woman. And Sheree was like, nah, no, you didn't. You said I had on the ugly Momma Joyce wig. All Momma Joyce needed was a belt, y'all. I was rolling. I thought that shit was funny. Wasn't they like 2 kids at the kitchen table? Y'all, I was like, no, they didn't. And then Sheree did not stop there. Now, I know y'all probably was mad at her, and I know y'all probably saying Sheree was being messy, but the mess is what keep the show moving along. It was a whole bunch of little tension at that table. Sheree had to say that shit. So the next thing she brought up is Block. And why was Kandi acting all shocked? She just sat up and busted tears last week talking to Sheree about Block. So to me, I don't know why I don't know why Kandi was mad. Now, it was a little inappropriate when they brought in how Porsha used to be with him. Now, that was taking it a little bit too far. It was just too much drama for one table of soul food. These bitches, see, y'all, this why I don't have a whole bunch of women friends. Because, see, this is the kind of shit that happens. Y'all all be talking about out each other behind each other's back. Then y'all go somewhere and sit down and get to eating or drinking, and all this shit start coming out. Child, Porsha was sitting there like, no, Kandi didn't tell them that I done slept with this motherfucker. And then they had to clean it all up. Kandi wanted to specify, I had them first. And then basically Porsha had her sloppy seconds. Child, from what I'm understanding, Block wasn't no prize, so they both was getting sloppy seconds. And then y'all know that, the rumor was that Kandi was savage, so she trying to act like she had a prize first, and that wasn't the case. Y'all, that table was just too much. Damn, Momma Joyce, she had taken the Phaedra in the back to try to have a conversation with her, and Kandi hurry up and put the kibosh on that. It was like, Mama, bring your ass onto the table, and come on, Phaedra, let's go on in here and eat. Now, Momma Joyce wasn't done. She didn't get a chance to say what she had to say. She had did her investigative journalism garb and went to that lawyer's office, so she was going to get across what she had to say. So she's at the table like, I heard, this motherfucker came to your office and wanted to blow you the fuck up. Said he was tired of getting fucked over. And Phaedra was sitting there looking at her like, no, this old bitch didn't. Y'all, see, I'm telling y'all, this is why I don't have a whole bunch of women friends. I got a couple, that's about it. And Phaedra was like, no, that is not what happened. And then basically she said he bought some CDs. He had it in I guess a sack, and they thought the motherfucker had bought a bomb and shit went left. But Phaedra, tried to go to the Black Lives Matter, and Kandi was like, girl, bye, with all that, all that shit. This thing between Kandi and Phaedra, Kandi acts like she absolutely hates Phaedra. And that part I don't understand. I could fall out with a girlfriend. It's not like Kandi and Phaedra had a physical fight, or, Phaedra tried to sleep with not Apollo. Phaedra tried to sleep with Todd, or Phaedra said something about her child, or did something like that. Why does Kandi act like she hates Phaedra? I could see you and your friend, you're no longer friends anymore. But unless my friend did something to me horrible, I would act the way Kandi acted. So if y'all know something that Phaedra was supposed to have done directly wrong, other than the money with Todd, they drugged that out for a while. We know that was a problem, because you don't mess with Kandi's food or her man or her child or her mama. But other than the situation with Todd and the money, is there anything else? Because y'all saw next week's clip, they gonna sit down, and you could tell that Kandi is like furious with Phaedra, and I'm wondering where that comes from. I just don't get that. So if y'all know what it is that is making Kandi so angry at Phaedra, I understand they're not friends, but to me, Kandi's not being cordial. It's snip here, snip there, snip there. Like I said, y'all, I don't know what's going on with Kandi the last couple of seasons, but Kandi used to be my girl, and I'm really starting not to like her anymore. And for me, for quite a few seasons, Kandi was the only one that acted like she had some sense. Now it's like this show has affected Kandi, and Kandi's not seeing herself. I don't know what it is. Y'all let me know what y'all think it is. Okay, last one up is Kenya. Now, y'all, I don't know what to think about this whole thing with her and Matt, because I heard some rumors, and I'll talk about that. But anyway, what happened with her is her and Matt are having problems. Apparently, he came there, after coming back from Cali, and kicked in her garage door. He kicked out the glass in the garage door. Now, that looked like some flimsy ass glass for him to be able to just kick it in like that. That was flimsy to me. Now, here's the rumor that I heard. He says that all of this was staged, and that she told him to do this, I guess, to make their scenes, I guess, more provocative or more exciting or whatever. If so, Kenya is up to her old tricks, which I don't understand why. Now, I'm not saying that it's true or it's not true. I really thought that Kenya was feeling him, and I still do. I think that she had met someone, and even though he was younger than her, Kenya actually liked him. Now, I don't know what happened, what truly happened to make them break up. To me, she says he's crazy, but she's a little crazy too. And I think the two, like I said last week, they just canceled each other out. They made it a year. It was a good run. It was longer and realer than any relationship Kenya has had on the show. So there's hope for her. What I mean by that is she had a pretend one on there one season. Walter, remember, he claimed she paid him. So at least this season it was real, because I don't think when they first started out that there was anything fake about it. I think both of them were feeling each other. And honestly, I'm sorry that it didn't work out, because Kenya was softer when she was around him. She was still crazy with the other women, but you saw a little vulnerability when she was around Matt. And I think that this is a start for Kenya. She's had a relationship that, here recently lasted a little over a year. Who knows? Maybe the next guy she gets with, it'll be the one. Because I do believe that if Kenya got married and she had a baby, I think this would calm her down. I think Kenya is unhappy. She's very beautiful, and she has a lot going for her. But I think that not having a husband and not having this baby that she wants is making Kenya unhappy. And because she's unhappy, she's lashing out. Also, too, when you get a family, when you get a man at home and you got a baby at home, you ain't got time to be all up in your friend's bullshit. Kenya would be busy with her man and her husband, and she wouldn't care about what's going on with these other women. I truly think that Matt was a dress rehearsal for whoever's to come along in Kenya's life. He gave her a good run. It's over, and I think now Kenya is ready for whoever it is that's going to come along and sweep her off her feet, marry the crazy bitch, and give her a baby. And with that, y'all, that's the end of the review. Hope y'all enjoyed it. If I left anything out, put it down in the comment section. You guys have a great evening, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye now.